Oh, where's the guns, Nathan? I'm in this Antarctic abyss. I've not come all this distance just for you to take the piss. What a classic. That's Where's the Guns, Nathan by Mr. Cheswick. That's a real earworm. I've got that song stuck in my head. Where's the guns, Nathan? I'm in this Antarctic abyss. I've not come all this distance just for you to take the piss. Anyway, we had a conversation a couple of days ago, myself and Tim Osman, the president of the Infinite Plane Society, and it was, in my personal opinion, one of the best conversations of all time. So I will link to that in the show notes below. You can either watch the stream, the live stream that Tim Osman put together, or you can go to the Podbean version and download or stream it at your leisure. And we discussed the final experiment, the so-called experiment. It was just an observation, but it was an important observation in my opinion. We discussed synchronicity and predictive programming, and then in the second part of the call we got into some real spooky stuff. Very spooky indeed. I said to Tim Osman, I was like, bro, this topic that we just talked about for the last half hour, I don't think I've heard you really talk about this much on your streams. Why is that? Because when Tim gets into the more existential stuff, the more philosophical stuff, I think that's some of his best work, but he doesn't really talk about that stuff very much. But he did in that conversation, so like I said, I'll link to that in the show notes below. And also, I've been doing these clip shows recently, where I take clips from many different people, including Tim Osman, Ab the Fakeologist, Quantum of Conscience, Realize Radio, Joe Rogan, and a whole bunch of other people, Calcified Lies as well. I've been doing these clip shows, and you can access those. Just join the free JLB Patreon. I'll put a link to that in the show notes below, in the comment section below, I suppose. And they're usually about 90 minutes to 2 hours. I just take a bunch of different clips, different ideas, and I give my thoughts on them. And I'm quite happy with that series. And the reason, one of the main reasons I wanted to go over to Patreon and use their free Patreon system is because I think they're better at notifying subscribers when you upload content. In other words, if I upload something to YouTube, even though it says I've got 5,000 subscribers, which has been built up over, 5 years on this channel, and 10 years more broadly, I don't think most people see the subscription feed. I don't think they see any John LeBon content there. I could be wrong, I hope I'm wrong, but that's what I think is happening. Whereas Patreon, if you sign up to the free JLB Patreon, Patreon will notify you when I upload some new content. So I'm going to try and get more and more people to move over to the free JLB Patreon, where they will get access to, like I said, these clip shows, which I'm very happy about. And in the most recent free JLB Patreon clip show, one of the topics that came up was portals. Now, folks, I don't know if you believe that the people who run the show got to this realm through a portal, but there's a very intelligent fellow who apparently does. And so that was one of the clips that I played. I also played a clip from Calcified Lies, who, this guy believes I'm a paid shill. He believes I'm a government agent, some kind of intelligentsia asset. Intelligence asset? You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so he and I disagree about that. But he's got some really good stuff on the, what I call synchronicities, what some might call predictive programming. He's found some examples to do with this Luigi story that I don't think anybody else has found. He's got an eye for this stuff. So we looked at some of his material, and we looked at different people giving their thoughts on the final experiment. I've got clips from 3 or 4 different podcasts talking about this so-called final experiment, and some of them have very interesting takes, some of them have bizarre takes. So all of that and so much more on the latest JLB free Patreon clip show. Link to that in the comment section below. And I guess that'll... Oh, but one more thing. I'm also going to link to Mr. Cheswick's Where's the Guns, Nathan? You've got to check this out. Whether you believe in flat earth or you think the whole thing is a complete ruse and there are charlatans profiting from the gullibility and loneliness of hundreds or maybe even thousands of people all over the world, whatever your take on the so-called flat earth so-called movement is this Where's the Guns, Nathan? This is brilliant stuff, man. I would say in all of 2024, this is probably in my top 5 or 10 favorite things to come from the YouTube, truth scene. Mr. Cheswick, if you're out there, that was brilliant. I know you used AI, but just using AI, you still need some creativity to prompt the AI. And what you put together, and the video as well, with McToon going nuts, very funny stuff. And we discussed that in the latest Bombasation with Tim Osman as well. So folks, in the show notes below, you're going to find a new Bombasation, a new JLB clip show, and a link to Mr. Cheswick and his Where's the Guns, Nathan? I haven't gone to karaoke for a while. I used to go to karaoke every Thursday. I haven't been in a while. But man, if I went to karaoke again, I'd be tempted to tee up Where's the Guns, Nathan. Nobody in the audience would have any idea what the hell I'm singing or talking about. But it'd be pretty funny. So, well done, Mr. Cheswick. And that'll do us for today, folks. So go and check out those links. Have yourselves a lovely day. And if you don't hear from me again before Christmas, I hope you have a great festive season. Whether you believe we live on a pancake or you believe we live on a disc. I mean, come on, flat earthers, you've got to admit that midnight sun. You won't admit it publicly, I get it, but to yourselves you have to admit this is a bit of a spanner in the works, isn't it, for the so-called flat earth. Or if you think we live in a giant spinning ball hurtling through space because you've watched way too much science fiction and haven't moved on from that belief system yet, no matter who you are, I think if you check out Where's the Guns, Nathan, I think you'll enjoy it. Go and check it out, folks, and have yourselves a lovely day.